pointing some speakers at the band, pressing play on your phone, and letting the band play along to the song. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Rattling Bones Club. My name is James, and today we'll look over part 2 of my behind the scenes working as an audio engineer on a music video shoot. In part 1, we looked over my role as a recording engineer for the intro part of this music video. I'll leave that linked up here and in the description below, along with a link to watch the final music video, which is for the song Sleep Society by the band While She Sleeps. So let's take a look at my role as a playback engineer on the performance part of this music video. We'll take a look at my setup and some of the challenges that we faced. Let's get into it. So the main role of a playback engineer is to make sure that the band can hear the song well enough over the other sounds that are happening at the time of recording. So usually with a rock band like this, the drum kit is live in the room, so the song's got to be heard over the drummer playing along to the song. Usually the instruments like guitars and bass aren't plugged in, so we don't have to worry about these, but the drum kit is super loud in the room. So we need to make sure that everyone can hear the song well enough over those drums to make sure they can play along in time for the music video. And yeah, sometimes it is just as simple as pointing some speakers at the band, pressing play on your phone, and letting the band play along to the song. And I have done music videos in the past that are this simple, but this one was just a little bit more complicated, so let's go over my setup. So the first problem that we faced was the location of the music video. So if you've seen it, it's just a massive open warehouse. Like it's next door to one of those Amazon distribution centers, but this one is just completely empty and it is massive. It's ginormous. The band and the director both wanted to get lots of big, wide shots of the space. So this meant that if we put any speakers facing the band, they were always going to be in the shot. So this kind of ruled out having any sort of speakers in front of the band because they would always be visible within the shot. So we used the band's live wireless in-ear monitor system to get around this. So we gave each member a wireless pack and some headphones so they could hear the song. And as well, we hid one small speaker behind the cabs in the shot, just to make sure that we had some sort of comms between takes. In the video, you can see the band performing in front of a big backdrop of their album cover. So this is attached to a backdrop bar, which is attached to a scissor lift in the middle of the room and then lifted up really high. I set up my work area directly behind the scissor lift, so I was out of any of the shots. I had a small work area where I set up my Midas M32R to use as the main interface to send all the different inputs we had to the different multiple output sources that we were using. And then we ran this all into the band's in-ear monitor system, which was 6 Shure PSM 900 transmitters. Inputs. Input-wise on the console, we had the studio track and the click track running into inputs 1 and 2. This is from a stereo track being played from my MacBook with the song panned all the way to the left and the click track panned all the way to the right, meaning that I had separate control over both of these elements. The drummer prefers to play along to a louder click than everyone else, so this just gave me that extra control to make sure that everyone was comfortable when shooting this music video. Then the next inputs were a talkback line from me, which is a switch mic next to my desk, and then a talkback line from the director, meaning that we could both talk to the band directly in their in-ears or through the small speaker behind the cabs. Because the location of the shoot was so big, the camera crew had to use a Land Rover with a camera rig attached to the front of it. Kind of thing you'd see on like wildlife safari documentaries or like stuff they use to like film car chases and things like that. We needed this to do the big wide tracking shots at the correct speed that we needed. As the director was in this vehicle during shooting, I couldn't just run him a switch mic on an XLR cable as he was in a moving vehicle. So to get around this, we ended up giving him a wireless microphone that he kept in the car with him. And then this gave him a direct line to the band's ears to be able to give any directions or notes during the performance for any of the band members to move to certain places and stuff like that. Outputs. Output-wise, I wanted to keep everything as simple as possible on the day, as I knew we had a strict time limit for shooting. So keeping everything easy and straightforward audio-wise meant that I wasn't holding anyone up with any potential problems from a more complicated setup. So we ran one wireless mix between 4 of the band members. This just had a generic mix of the studio track and the click track, along with some of the talkback lines from myself and the director to be heard at a decent level over the track. So each of these 4 band members had their own in-ear receiver pack, and then they were all scanned to the exact same frequency from the same transmitter, and then we were running this one mix from. The next output on my list was a hardwired in-ear monitor mix for the drummer. So this is just a cable that ran direct under the backdrop up to the drummer's stool, where he had a Behringer PowerPlay headphone amp, and then he could just plug his headphones direct into this, and his mix was ready and by his drum stool for every shot. So the drummer likes a lot more click track than the rest of the band, so this is why he had his own separate mix, so I could send more of the click over the top of the track, and he also had a balance of both the talkback mics as well. Then after this, we had a mono mix going out to a small PA speaker that was hidden behind the guitar cabs. Just gave a little bit more vibe to the room, and it also allowed us to still use the talkback lines in between takes. If the band members would take their headphones out, we could still talk to them and let them know when we're ready to shoot again, so they could put their headphones back in and get in position. I then had another wireless mix, which was just the studio track on its own being sent to a receiver. Then this was plugged into the main camera setup, so then they could use this to help sync the audio later on when they were editing the music video. And then there was one more wireless receiver, which the camera crew had in the Land Rover vehicle. This was synced to the same mix that the band were listening to, and then plugged into a UE boom speaker in the vehicle so that everyone in there could hear what was going on. They could hear the track and they could hear the talkback mics as well. The day. So the day started for me by setting up my console and the in-ear monitor system, checking over that everything was working correctly, and making sure that all the wireless packs reached the correct distance that was needed for the day. So the next step was to set up all the mic stands, microphones, and cables that were going to be in the shot. They may not have been plugged into anything, but they do need to give the illusion that they are. And with this massive space that we were shooting in, this involved lots of XLR cables all linked together so that we had enough length so that we could run the cable down and then run it out of the shot without you seeing the end of the cable not being plugged into anywhere, and going over all the XLR cables and removing any random tape that was attached to them. So then we did a couple of run-throughs with the band while we were waiting for the sun to set, as we needed to shoot the music video in the dark. So we used this time to get the level set in the band's ears, make sure they were happy with the mix of the track and the click track, make sure everything was all working correctly, making sure they could hear all the talkback mics. And then once all this was done, we just waited around for a few hours until it was time to shoot the music video. So when we're ready to shoot, I needed to be ready and on standby to play back the track when requested by the director. And in the video, I had a drone with a searchlight on that was flying above the band. This drone had a limited flight time of around 6 minutes before it needed to land again and get the batteries changed. So we all needed to be ready to roll as soon as this drone was up in the air. The director would then call over the radio system that they were recording, and they would ask for playback. At this point, I would then play back the song from the section that we were recording at that time. And then it was just sitting back and monitoring the situation, make sure everything was working correctly, and listening out to the radios and the talkback system to make sure no one was shouting for me to stop the track, or if they'd cut the cameras, or for any other problems. Luckily, nothing went wrong during the shoot. There's a couple of times where the band members' wireless packs would run out of batteries, so they quickly just ran round to me where I had a table set up with some spare batteries on. I could quickly open the packs, sort the batteries out, and then send them back. So we didn't have to stop while the drone was still in the air and the camera was still rolling. They could just quickly, within 10 seconds, get all this changed and get back into shooting the music video. Just having this set up and ready to go was a real lifesaver, especially with the limited time that the drone could fly on certain batteries. So we spent a few hours filming different angles, different sections, just going over every bit over and over again. We finished up around 2 a.m, I believe, and then got all the gear packed down, packed it all the way in the back of the van, and yeah, had a well-deserved beer at the end of a very long day. And that was about it. So yeah, that's my overview of my setup and my role working on a music video shoot. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And if you did find this video useful, please hit that like button. Maybe consider subscribing. Might drop another video like this again soon. So yeah, check that out. But for now, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay hydrated, kids. So you take some big speakers, you're pointing at the band, you press play on your phone, they play along. See you later. Bye.